welcome along to this very special edition of Saturday Sessions here on YouTube with me, Claire Holdich. And well, David is lurking around should we need him. So there we go. But of course, this is a little bit different to Flutifull time because today I'm bringing you a very special set list and yes, thank you, Roberto. Roberto has just made it very clear in the chat. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that on screen. Yes, it is, of course, my birthday today. So today's set list, as suggested by my wonderful supporters and members, has been chosen by me. It's been chosen by me, and David is introducing us there really nicely. Thank you, David. Episode 2, relax and enjoy her selections of original and favourite covers. Yes, so today's selection is many of my original tracks mixed with other covers and tracks which mean something to me, and I'm going to try and give you a little bit of, well, I'm going to explain why as we go along. So it's a real mixture of stuff, as you might have guessed, because if you're regular around these parts, I like a lot of different music, so I'm hoping you're going to enjoy at least something from the list that I've put together today, and maybe learn a little bit more about me and my background and why I like this stuff. So yeah, there's lots of chat going on already today. Chat is on members only mode, so if you are a channel member, you are able to chat here on today's live stream. If you want to join the channel members and be able to chat today, then just check out the $sign on the chat and that gives you all the details. So chat's been very interesting already. Oh, thank you for the Ko-fi. That's Christian, thank you. And I couldn't resist having a little birthday rabbit there for the Ko-fi donations. Thank you so much, Christian. Thank you to everybody who sent me messages and things already, by the way. You guys are amazing. You're really, really amazing. Right, I'm just going to highlight some of the chat that's been going on so far. Just scrolling back a little bit. Christian, who just sent through the Ko-fi there. Thank you again, Christian. Greetings from Finland. Nice weather, crispy cold, which is fine. Just had a sauna. I enjoyed a little sauna this morning as well, Christian. Just in time to celebrate Claire's birthday and music. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here. Wild says, David, can I stand behind you when Claire opens her presents just for protection? Right, so Wild sent me a few gifts, and one of which is down here with a label that says Cheeky Joker on it. So I promised Wild I would open the Cheeky Joker present on stream. So that's coming up later on. So stay tuned just for that, folks. Thank you, Wild. Roberto, hello Roberto. Roberto asking about my birthday and my mum's birthday. Yes, it's mum's birthday on Monday, and there's a special kind of present for mother which you guys are going to enjoy as well. I'll talk about that later on. So thank you, Roberto, for the question. Yeah, it's kind of a double birthday. The story goes, I'm sure Mum won't mind me sharing this, that I could have been born on my mum's birthday. I was born by cesarean, and Mother said, no, just get it over with. So my birthday's 2 days before my mum's. It's a true story, folks. There you go. Right, just scrolling through. There was something else. Oh, I wanted to pick up on this little conversation as well. So there was some chat about the background I was going to use today. Wild thought it might be this. Really wild, really. Anyway, David's guess was birthday related. I nearly went with something birthday related, but I couldn't kind of make it work. So I went with this, and Roberto likes it. Yay! I wanted something cozy because last month we did a cozy one and I liked it. So there we go. Awesome. I'm glad you guys like that. Oh, and Mummy says very happy birthday. Thank you. Well, we've had a lovely day today, haven't we? And it's been really nice. And I could not think of a better way to spend my birthday than sharing some music with you guys, because you know that our little community here has become, well, a real meaningful part of my world, and I'm so pleased that everybody enjoys being here and sharing the music. And Well, it's just a privilege to be here. You know, one of the things that I know I've seen many of you guys kind of say, and it kind of, I've got to this point now as well, is that it is really a privilege, isn't it? It's a privilege to get older, and it's a privilege to have another birthday. So there we go. Thank you so much, and it's my privilege to be here with you today. So. Yes, as the bot is just telling us, welcome along to the live stream. Whether you're able to chat or not, you can see the chat messages. If you want to see today's set list, then there is the list. So, oh, and it's not chosen by Flutifull Club members. It is chosen by me today. So if you want to see what's coming up, check out the link and you'll be able to see the list, because I'm not actually going to have that on screen during the live stream today. I should also say that I'm hoping there'll be a little time for a little bit of Q&A at the end as well. So members in the chat, if you want to ask any questions, post them away, but maybe save it till later on in the set, because I am kind of just going to keep playing like I did last time, because I want, you know, when I get on a roll, I'm just going to keep going. And that's the difference, of course, between this and Flutifull time, where I will chat in between a little bit more to you guys, and that, of course, will still be happening tomorrow. Right, shall we start us off then with this first selection? So I had to start with this really today, because this was where it all began for me on YouTube. So many of you know that I started off just by doing a live stream similar to this, really, where I didn't really chat or interact with anybody, although I'm interacting with you guys. So I didn't really interact, but I just played a set list, and it was during that very strange lockdown time that we all experienced, and I just wanted it to be a light relief at lunchtime for people to sit back and enjoy, and to have some music to kind of introduce that to when the credits are going. I had a go at putting together a little improvisation track. So this was one of the very first tracks that I ever put together, and it's I know it's a favourite of my mum's as well, so I had to start with this today. Thank you, William, for the super chat. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you so much, William. Well, you're about to hear them. Yeah, here we go. So what was I saying? So this first track was the theme tune to my very first live streams, and I hope you enjoy it now. This is called Above the Clouds. go, starting off with a little bit of a sleepy number there. Yes, that was Above the Clouds, which David has informed us on the chat. Thank you, David, that this was eventually released as part of my very first EP, Three Words Volume 1, June the 4th, 2021. It is available on Bandcamp and also on the Ko-fi shop. So there we go. Thank you for that, David. Right, so onwards indeed. So I did promise you a varied selection today. The next track is one that takes me personally back to my early years. So many of you know that I played the recorder from age 4. I picked up the flute age 11. And when I always knew I wanted to study music, but actually when I went on to university, I ended up majoring in singing. Singing became my first instrument. I'd always sung as well. I'd sung in a church choir from the age of 7, and the reason I didn't study flute at university, I don't know if I've ever shared this one, was because I was kind of intimidated by my roommate, who was a really good flute player, and I went, oh no, and I switched to singing. Now, I'm kind of glad that I did, weirdly, because I've taught singing for many years, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more soon. Roberto, thank you so much for the Ko-fi. Awesome of you. Thank you so much. What was I saying? So anyway, I did a lot of singing in my younger years, and I had the privilege of, at school, playing a few roles in the school musicals, and the two main roles that I really remember were Nancy in Oliver, which was one of my favourite roles. But many years before I did that, I played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and that was it was so lovely. It was just so lovely. So I thought I'd share with you this. This is the beautiful Over the Rainbow. there we go. A little bit of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, folks. There we go. Thank you to my mummy for the Ko-fi that's come through there. And thank you, Wilbur, as well, for the Ko-fi. And, oh, another one coming through. Oh, my goodness. Wild, thank you. Hope you love the gifts and the happy 29.5 birthday card. Yes, I did like that a lot, Wild. I might bring it out tomorrow on Flutifull time. There just isn't the space in here today with the setup. But thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Lots of love for Over the Rainbow there. Bill says this track brings back such warm memories. It is one of those, isn't it, Bill? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Christian says, did you get red shoes? This is such an enchanting song. I did have red shoes. You kind of have to when you play Dorothy. Yeah, I do remember having the red shoes. And some of you asking about would quite like to hear me sing. Linda says, I vote for Claire singing over the rainbow. Now, I'm not going to do any singing today, folks, but David, yes, is reminding us that I did give there were some clips of me singing available to members at some point, and I think David knows where they are because David is the authority. So David's going to find those for Christian, who specifically asked. So there we go. Yeah, we'll get those to you somehow, folks, because David knows where they are, but I don't. I can't remember. Right, onwards then. So, next up, now I did promise you guys a diverse selection today, and that is exactly what you're going to get. So I just talked about playing Dorothy. I think I was about 11 when that happened, and from a slightly younger age, as well as being really into music, yes, I was already into video games, as many of you know. So this is a theme that I put together from one of my earliest video game memories. It's a little game called Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Now, I spent many an hour playing this game, and actually fairly recently, I rediscovered it again and played through the whole thing and actually completed it. I never completed it as a kid because video games used to be proper hardcore and you used to have to do it all in one go, and I could never manage it. It was something that we tried as a family and never achieved. So anyway, I can now categorically say I have completed this game with a few saves in between. Anyway, so I wanted to share this. In fact, I'm going to do a video game double bill, but I'll talk more about the second one in a minute. So starting us off, here is one of the quirkiest video game themes that you're going to find. This is Alex Kidd in Miracle World. There we go. A little bit of Alex Kidd in Miracle World, made fully flutable, of course, by yours truly. Oh, lots and lots of fun. Lots to talk about video games in the chat. Now, Linda, whoa. Linda says, I finished Zelda in the early Nintendo. I take my hat off to you, Linda. I take my hat off to you. Many of you know I was a Sega girl, so I've never actually played Zelda, but I can imagine that's just as difficult to complete on the early consoles as any other game. So there we go. Wilbur says Pac-Man is the only one I've ever played. Still counts, Wilbur. We'll take that, won't we? We'll take that. And Mother says, the memories. Yes, I know that does hold a special place in our hearts, that game. Even though, as Katrina says, what a funny tune. Yeah, the tunes kind of reflect what's going on in the game, as you might imagine. Anyway, we are going to stick with video game music just for one more track today, folks, because I couldn't not include this. Now, many of you know I'm a huge fan of this video game franchise, and this holds a special memory for me, not only just as a video game, but as a cover, because I remember when I hadn't been doing covers very long, and when I first realised that I could kind of recreate this theme with the same sounds, with the same instruments as it would have been created back in the day, because this is from around about 1996. So as you'll hear, things had moved on quite a lot in only about 10 years in terms of what they could do in video games. Anyway, when I realized I could make the sound, I remember that feeling, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I also remember the feeling when I posted this and got a response from Nathan McCree, who's the guy who composed this theme, and saying that he really enjoyed my cover. So that was really, really cool as well. So I had to include this today. This is my fully fluteful version of the first ever theme from Tomb Raider. There we go. Now, whether you're a gamer or not, I'm sure you'll agree that is just such a fantastic, fantastic piece of music. The first theme to Tomb Raider. There we go. Rupert's joined us. Hi, Rupert. Rupert says, "What a lovely backdrop." Thank you, Rupert. Yeah, I wanted to go with something cozy again. Not familiar with Tomb Raider, but a beautiful theme, flutifully played. Thank you so much, Rupert. That's very, very kind of you. Wild says, and she completed it on remastered version on PS5 thanks to me. Yes, Wild gifted me the first 3 remastered Tomb Raiders, and I can now say I completed Tomb Raider 1 as well. So there we go. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Right. Oh, and David telling us that was my 5th ever cover. So there you go. Fairly early one. August the 14th, 2020. Thanks, David. Right. I need a bit of tea. I've just realised I haven't had any tea yet, folks. My goodness me. And of course, there's always time for tea and tull. We might squeeze in some tull later on. Right. Oh, there we go. I hope you're enjoying your beverage of choice with today's music, which, if you're just joining us, is chosen today by me because it is my birthday. So this is all stuff that means something to me, and some of my original stuff coming up as well. Thank you, H. Fraley, for the super chat. So kind of you. Thank you so much. Let's get that on my screen. There it is. Woo! Oh, and it's come. Oh, I've got the little super chat thing working today as well. Wow, it's all going well. I shouldn't say that, should I? Because something will go wrong. Thank you so much, H. Fraley. That's very kind of you. Right, so next up. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about singing being another of my first loves. And I do still love to sing. And I am hoping to resurrect the singing soon as part of Meridian. So those of you that know I'm working with a harpist, if you want to hear me sing, then that might happen very soon. Anyway, back to singing. Now, I've had the privilege over the years of teaching singing to a great many people. And it's a really wonderful gift, I think, to give somebody, not just the gift of music, which I am eternally grateful for myself, of course, but to give somebody the ability to sing is something very special. And I always like to think of all the people in the world now that I've kind of given that ability to. I think it's very special. Anyway, so I wanted to include 2 tracks which are songs and that mean a lot to me. And I might do these as a little double bill, actually. So the first one is an early Italian aria called Amarilli Mia Bella. Now, again, I've taught this to very many people, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful tune. And I love now bringing it to people here on the flute, on Flutifull time, because a lot of people might not know this gorgeous melody. So I hope you enjoy this one. Amarilli Mia Bella. The second tune I'm going to play is The Flower Duet by Delibes, which often gets chosen on my Flutifull Time live streams. And the reason for this is that I remember teaching this, well, again, I've taught it to a few people, but teaching this specifically to one young lady who really did become a star student of mine. And she's just not that long ago graduated from musical theatre college down in London, and is now a fully fledged professional, and she's currently on tour in Europe with the Rocky Horror Picture Show of all shows. So this holds a special memory for me, teaching it to her, and not only teaching it to her but singing it with her as part of one of her assessments. So anyway, you're going to hear Amarilli Mia Bella by Caccini, and then The Flower Duet by Delibes. we go. A little bit of a flower duet there for you folks. A lot of people enjoying both those tunes, I think. Beautiful, says Bill. David says lovely. And we have a super from H. Fraley. Thank you, guys. Mother asking, was it Olivia, Claire, your student? Yes, that's the one, Mother. That's the one. And Wilbur saying, do you know which part your student is playing in Rocky Horror Picture Show? I believe she's one of the swing parts, one of the dancer parts. I'm not sure if she's a named part. I can't remember, if I'm honest, Wilbur, but yeah. I think she's still touring. It was a while ago that I saw that was what she was doing. So I believe if you maybe search it out, you might be able to find her. But there we go. Oh, and Rupert saying, love this second tune. Cannot remember name or composer. It's Delibes' Flower Duet, Rupert. So from his opera Lakme. There we go. Such a delight to hear and so uplifting, says Rupert. Well, that's the idea. That's the idea. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Right, now, if you enjoyed the last two classical tunes, I'm sticking with the classical one more time. For the next one, and I know lots of you really, really like this. So the next selection is Bolero, Ravel's Bolero. Now, I've chosen this today because many of you already know, who've followed me for a while, that one of my crazy hobbies when I was in my mid-20s was ice skating. And I took it up because I'd always wanted to be able to ice skate. I couldn't actually ice skate as a kid. I was kind of terrified of it. Didn't really do it very often. And so when I lived quite close to the ice rink here in Hull, I decided one half term I was determined, right? So I bought a book, as you do, being a studious person, and kind of taught myself to just be able to skate around without holding on, which I thought was like mega achievement, and really proud of that. Anyway, for some mad reason, I decided, I really like this, and I'm going to see if I can have some lessons. So I talked to one of the coaches, and he said, well, I can see you can ice skate. And I was like, no, not really. So you can, there's group lessons, or why don't you have some individual lessons? So I did. I was really interested in taking it up. So had a few individual lessons, passed the levels, all the levels that the kids do. So passed all the levels. And then he said, well, I've got this team of crazy adults who are doing synchronized skating. So then, I joined this little team, and we did compete in a few competitions, including one up in Scotland where we won an international silver medal for adult synchronized skating. So there we go. I know some of you know that a little bit of that story, but it still holds a lot of fond memories for me that time. And it really taught me what it's like to be a beginner and what it's like to find something difficult. I was not a naturally good skater at all. I had to work really hard, hence why I probably was only doing it for about 3 years, because to keep getting better at the level I was at would have taken a lot of time, effort and money. So anyway, it taught me a lot about being a beginner, and I had such an awesome time. So I wanted to include this today because, of course, this is the piece that's associated most with the fabulous Torval and Dean British ice dancers. So here we go. This is Ravel's Bolero. There we go, a little bit, literally, of Bolero. Yes, it was not the full thing because that's a full 17 minutes. So that was a truncated version, is quite fitting, I think, because that is exactly, of course, what Torval and Dean did as well. So there we go. Yeah, I think lots of people enjoying that one there. Loving some of the emojis that are going on in the chat as well, because as channel members, you don't just get access to chat on Saturday sessions, you also get access to those wonderful custom emojis that we love as well. So thank you guys, everybody who's using those. Right, I'm just going to have a little bit more tea before we move along now. As you know, one of the things that happens here on my channel is I produce my own covers. So some of the tracks that I've done today have been pre-done backing tracks, i.e. not the ones that I've produced, but many of them are. And all the ones that you find videos for on the channel as well are completely my own work. And I thought it would be fitting today to play the very first cover that I ever put together. Now, I remember putting this cover together. Again, it was kind of lockdown time. And, well, I'd decided to embrace my pop and rock side and just play other styles. And this was a new thing for me, really. I'd only really ever played classically. But I've always loved all sorts of music, as you can tell. And this was a really big thing, putting this together and putting it out there, and because I was just so nervous about how it would be perceived and all the rest of it. So I remember that moment when I put this out there and I got a couple of comments from friends who said, wow, that's brilliant. And it blew me away, and it's really, you know, I've been on this journey ever since. So I really wanted to play this for you today. This was my very first cover, and it is a wonderful track by the Beatles. It's called In My Life. go. That was a little bit of In My Life, made fully fluteful, and that was my first ever cover track. And David is telling us that was, hang on a minute, let me find it. Oh, hang on. Too many scroll. There we go. In My Life was released on July the 14th, 2020. So there we go. Yeah, and I'm now up to 96 covers. I'm about to release my 97th cover on Monday, and as we said at the beginning, Monday is a very special day because it's my mummy Janet's birthday, and it's going to be her very first cover choice as a new top tier member, so that's going to be a little birthday present for my mummy, and it's a great track. I've really enjoyed working on it. I might talk a bit more about that tomorrow on Flutifull Time. Brian's joined us in the chat. Hi Brian, hope you're doing okay. Brian says, where's Brian's happy birthday? I want to get it on screen. Where is it? There we go. Brian says happy birthday, Claire. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm having a lovely day, and it's my pleasure to be here today with you all, guys. It's super. Thank you so much to Katrina for the Ko-fi that came through there. Thank you so much. Very kind of you indeed. Right. Let me continue. What do I have next? Let me check my list. Let me check the list. So, yes, I was going to carry on from that one with an original track. So that was my very first cover, and this is my very first original single track. So earlier you heard an improv track, but this was my first ever fully created track that I put together. And again, I was pretty nervous about this one. I wanted to pull together all the kind of weird and wonderful techniques which I was really embracing at that time. I'd already been beatboxing on the flute for a while, so beatboxing's in here, but I was really getting into the wonderful work of Jethro Tull. And having said that, I just have to throw up Rupert's wonderful little comment here in the chat. So Rupert says, really don't mind if you sit this out, but I'm happy and I'm smiling because it's Claire Holdich's birthday. Wishing you life's a long song and many sweet dreams. Just can't beat songs from the Tull. Rupert, he never fails to impress with his Tull knowledge there. Thank you so much, Rupert. Anyway, Tull was a massive influence for my first single, which I'm going to play for you now. This is Stand Out. There we go. That was my original track. Stand Out. Oh yeah, always fun to play that one. Always lots of fun. And lots of people enjoying that in the chat. Thanks guys. H. Fraley says, wow. Well, that is praise indeed, H. Fraley. Thank you so much. Mother says, great Claire, always loved this. And Bill says, yay for beatboxing. Well, I'm really glad that you've said that, Bill. Oh, and a very observant, comment from Brian, commenting on the G minor and G sharp chords there. Yes, I love it. Thanks, Brian. Anyway, I want to go back to Bill's comment because this leads very nicely onto our next selection. So, many of you know, as well as loving video game music, classical music, and everything in between, I am also a rock girl at heart, okay? And so I've always loved bands, like classic bands, like Guns N' Roses, and Muse has just popped in my head a bit later, but very influenced by them, and of course, Aerosmith. Now, I wanted to play this today because I always remember being challenged by a friend of mine to include some beatboxing in this cover if I could do it. It was a bit of a challenge, this one, and I said, oh yeah, I'm up for this. This is again one of my fairly early covers, but it was so much fun to try and put the beatboxing technique into this. So I wanted to share this with you today. This is my fully flutifull cover of Aerosmith's Walk This Way. There we go. That probably remains one of my craziest covers on record, but there we go. It was lots of fun to put together. That was Walk This Way, Aerosmith. There we go. Wild says, I like the rock chick, Claire. Well, you know, she's definitely still in there and will always be, I hope. Anyway. Awesome. Right, I need a bit more tea, folks. I need a bit more tea. Where are we at in this set? I have no idea what number we're on. I've got 16 tracks in all, folks. So there is... I think I've got 5 more to go. I think that's right. Anybody who's following on the list may correct me. I don't know. Anyway, and... I think we will have a little bit of time for Q&A at the end. So in the chat, if you want to ask me anything within reason, then feel free to post it in the chat and I will have a little Q&A to finish off today. And we've got Wild's present to open. I haven't forgotten. That's coming at the end as well. Right. Tea tastes good. Okay, so... we've talked about many of my passions and loves over the years, but we haven't yet talked about the next one. And I had to include this because, well, I just love it so much. And many of you know I had the absolute privilege of performing last year at Destination, which is an unofficial Star Trek convention, which is happening again this year, and I'm definitely going again. I got to play all of my Star Trek covers to a wonderful little audience. It was awesome. So this brings back that great memory for me and just really... helps me to realise, you know, how far I've come with these now. It's been such a journey and it's still a journey and I love it. Anyway, I had to play this today. This is my favourite of the Star Trek series and probably my favourite theme as well. This is a theme from Star Trek Voyager. we go. It had to be done, folks. It had to be done. That was the wonderful theme from Star Trek Voyager. And David telling us that that is definitely the most played / requested of the Star Trek covers. And David, of course, is referring to Flutifull Time, which happens every Sunday here on YouTube. You are all welcome to come and join in the fun and request. And Flutifull Time, the chat is open to everybody. So if you fancy coming along and joining us again tomorrow from 5 p.m. UK time, you get to choose the tunes. But today, despite what the bot is trying to tell us, because I forgot to change it, the tunes are all chosen by me because it is my special birthday. Now, I'm going to go back to my originals now, and I played you my very first original single a little while ago, Stand Out, but this one is the one that is also really, really popular on Flutifull Time. I think it's probably the most played, most requested of all my originals, and this one was put together in lockdown, really. This was my lockdown track, and it really does, every time I play it, it really reminds me of that very surreal time when not only were we in lockdown, but here in Hull, it was also snowing. It was very strange indeed. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. This is my original track, Within the Void. we go. Within the Void. What can I say about that one? It would seem that it's not only me that has special thoughts and memories about that one, but lots of you guys as well. So thank you so much for sharing. William says, this composition, so magical. I know I'm not the only one to admire it. It really transports me like no other song. Well, that's, wow, thanks. Thank you so much, William. Wilbur says, Within the Void and How's the Heart by Nightwish got me through COVID lockdown. Thanks, Claire. Well, what do I say to that? I mean, it's the music that kind of does it. And Wild also says, this has got lots of memories and stories made so popular on the radio. Yes, it remains my one and only release that's actually been had some radio airplay. And it's my wake up alarm clock. So there we go. Thank you guys for sharing all your own personal thoughts on that one. That's, yeah, that blows my mind. Right, I'm going to have a little bit more tea before we continue on. What is next? What is next? Ah, another original. There's a few originals coming up for you now, folks. So I had to include an original which isn't just my original but is also the work of fabulous guitarist Evson Berder. Evson got in touch with me when he saw my work on YouTube and asked if I'd like to compose some flute music, flute melodies to go with his wonderful guitar playing. And as soon as I heard it, I jumped at the chance. So we've produced a little EP together of songs inspired by the wildlife of his native land, Australia. So it's my pleasure to play for you today the very first track that we put together, and this is called Cockatoo Rumba. we go. A little bit of cockatoo rumba, folks. Oh, it's so lovely to remember a time when I was working on that, you know, and because I think I've shared before that working with Evson on that album was a real pleasure, and it came very, very easily. Those melodies were not difficult to write, and that's, for somebody who's fairly new, I would say, still to composing, that was quite a big shock to me. So so there we go, awesome stuff. Wilbur says, I saw a video of a huge flock of cockatoos taking over a neighbourhood in Australia. Amazing. There we go. Yeah, and Everson once shared with me that he has these beautiful birds in his backyard. So there we go. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? It's pretty awesome. Right, so continuing on then with the original tracks. And I thought I'd share with you another improv track. We started the stream with an improv track, and I'm going to share another one with you now. And this is my most recent improv track. Now, I always feel a bit guilty about this, folks, because I've released this so that it can be played on Flutifull Time. And I have promised you guys another improv track album. Now, it's been in the works for a long time, simply because, well, many you all know that I'm now working with a harpist, and that's kind of taken over a little bit from me working on my own stuff, individual stuff. So anyway, I promise you there will be another 3 Words Volume 3 when I finally find some time to put it together, and this will be on it. So this little track was inspired by a little camping trip that I went on a couple of years ago now, where I was sat outside my tent one beautiful evening and butterflies were dancing around. So I hope you enjoy this. This is a little improv track called When Butterflies Dance. we go. That is an unreleased original. I promise it will be released at some point when I get the whole EP together. That was called Butterflies Dance. It is available to request on Flutifull Time. So if you ever want to hear that one again, then do come along and request it. Right. I've got one more original and one more cover to finish off our little set stream today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed kind of going a little bit down memory lane and putting this together. It's been really, really interesting. Now, just before we move on, if you would like the chance to put together a set list for me to play on a Saturday session, then I am offering the chance for that to happen for Flutifull Club members on Ko-fi. So if you're a member on Ko-fi and you're in the top tier, you get lots of perks, including I'm going to be drawing a name out of the hat next month for your chance to put together your own set list. So if your name gets drawn out, I will ask you for your choices of tracks, including, if you want to, you don't have to, sharing a few words as to why those tracks mean something to you and why you've chosen them. And then that will be the May set list. So I'm really excited about that, because I think that's going to be really interesting to see what people choose and to see what people talk about with the tracks. Because you guys who are members, I know you have such knowledge and you're real music fans, and it'll be an honour for me to put that together and deliver it for you. So if you're interested in having the chance to do that, then do check out Ko-fi, and all the details are on the memberships. Right. My final original for you now then, folks. So this is my latest single, I suppose you could call it. And this, I thought it was appropriate to kind of finish with this one, because this is my attempt to capture my musical journey thus far in musical form. So this one starts with a little bit of recorder. I mentioned earlier that I started by playing the recorder, and it kind of includes a little bit of classical influence and a bit of a rock influence, and there's a bit of a conflict between the two, because for many years that's kind of how I felt as a musician, but then it kind of all resolves and comes together in the end. So if I can find the correct pedal setting for this one, there we go. Right, we're ready to rock. So I hope you enjoy this. This is my original track, Evolution.
There we go, that was my original track, Evolution. And like all of the currently released originals that you've heard today, they are available over on Bandcamp or on Ko-fi. So there we are. Oh, Rupert, thank you. Claire's birthday special in full Flutifull mode. I love it. Rousing finish, says David. Well, we're nearly there, David. One more. And I love this comment from William. William says, so weird, but it works. I'll take that, William. I'll take that. So that one, as I said earlier, was my attempt to capture my journey in musical form. And there is a bit of tension there between the classical and the rock, because for many years I couldn't put the two things together. You know, I was a classically trained musician who loved rock music, and I thought, you know, I knew there were other people out there that enjoyed that. I'd met people at university who had the same feelings, but had never really come across musicians, weirdly enough, that did that. I know, I don't know why. Anyway, I feel that if I'd been introduced to the magic of the band that I'm going to finish with today, who I think you know who this might be, then I think it might have been different. And I'm always keen to, even if my students are not interested in other kinds of music, that just knowing that it's out there and knowing that it's possible and knowing that it can be wonderful stuff is so important. And you guys know I'm an advocate for all kinds of music and bringing it together, because I think there's nothing better. So I know I always finish with this track normally on Flutifull Time, but I had to finish with this today because this track really, to me, is the epitome of taking, well, a master in J.S. Bach and putting your own twist on it in the most unbelievable way that only Mr. Ian Anderson could do. So I have to finish with this today. This is the fantastic Bourrée.
Always so fun. I will never get bored of playing that. That was the fabulous Bourrée to finish off. Well, our music making today and this special Saturday Sessions live stream. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in, whether you've been able to chat or not. It's been my great pleasure to enjoy just playing some music for you and to talk about what it means to me. So thank you so much, guys, because without you viewers and supporters, this wouldn't happen. And it really is, I love it so much, and I'm so pleased that you guys do too. So thank you so much. So just to finish off today, oh, and I wanted to also add that I could have chosen so many tracks today, and I like David's comment, David earlier, who, when I was talking about you guys getting the chance to, members getting the chance to choose a set list, David said, yeah, I think I've got it down to about 34. Yeah, I really struggled to choose just 16, I have to say. So I could have included many more tunes. But anyway, that was what I went with today. So there we go. Right, so if anybody in the chat has any questions you'd like to pose to me, then feel free to stick them in the chat now. And whilst you're doing that, well, we have no birthday celebration would be complete without a little present opening. Now, if you were here earlier, you'll have heard me say this is one of several things that Wild has gifted to me. So thank you so much, Wild. And this one says Cheeky Joker on it. Now, I'm a little bit nervous about this. And I think Wild is hiding because I think he's nervous about my reaction too. So here we go. Let's do this, and then I will endeavour to answer some of your questions in the chat. Okay, here we go. I can't really hold it up and... Oh, well, I can actually. Here we go. There is so much tape on this, folks. Look at the... I've managed to find a bit where there's not as much tape. What is this? This is several... Oh, okay, right. I've got an idea what this might be now. Oh, I can... Actually, I can kind of smell it, Wild. I can kind of smell it. I can't quite get in yet. Hang on. Oh, I knew I should have brought some scissors. I thought, oh, I'll be okay. Right, I'm going to go in at this end. Okay, this is several gifts in one, by the way, folks. Oh, I think I know what this one is. Okay, so yeah, Wild, you need to hide. So I don't even know if I'm going to show this on screen because it's just blasphemy, folks. This is blasphemy. I can't get in this, Wild. Oh my goodness me. Right. Oh, I can't get in. I can't actually. Oh, sorry if I just hit the microphone. Right, I'm going to have to try another angle. Oh, right, I'm nearly there now. How many layers of tape is on here? Okay, right, I'm kind of in. Oh, and then everything's taped together inside as well. Wild, did you actually intend me to get into this or what? Okay. Wild's childproof wrapping, says Bill. I know, it definitely is. It's also getting older person proof wrapping as well. Right, okay, so even if I can't get all this out, folks, I can kind of show you. There is a box of Earl Grey tea, which is what Wild likes to drink. There is a box of PG Tips tea. And there's a box of, oh my goodness, no. No, there is a box of Tetley tea. Oh my goodness. Now, regular viewers know that I only really drink Yorkshire, so this is very cheeky, Wild. I shall be saving these for when people come to my house. So there's tea, which, yes, so there's tea, but there's also, what is this? Oh, a okay, snap, crackle, swizzles. Things for the fire, says David. Yeah. Should we just throw them into that fire back there? Look. Yeah. There is also a t-shirt. Okay, let me just let me just look at this. Wild. Oh, actually, this is really cool. I really like it. Are you ready, folks? Look at that. Oh my God. It's really cool. And on the back, look. So for anybody watching who doesn't know, this is an in-joke on the channel. So this is BB, and BB, yeah, is our in-joke kind of cheeky mascot. I know, it's very, yeah, H. Fraley saying Songs from the Wood. It has got Songs from the Wood vibes, hasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I really love it, and I love the colour. Right, this will be where I'll be wearing this tomorrow, folks. I will be wearing this tomorrow. Can we get that one, says Linda. Linda wants one. Wild, you've started something. That is such a cool design. I take it you designed this, Wild. That's awesome. Yeah, you might have to send me it, Wild. We might have to put it on the shop with credit to you. It's so cool, isn't it? Can we get one? Excellent shirt, says Bill. Wild's just laughing his head off currently. That's what's happening. Wild, you have outdone yourself once more. Thank you so much for the cheeky Joker present. I actually love it. I think it's really awesome. Yeah, cute, says Katrina. Awesome. Thank you so much. And the tea will get drunk. Possibly not by me, but it will. I promise. Yeah, there you go. Side business for Wild. Right, so I think there's been some questions in the chat. So, questions. Here we go. David says, a question about Meridian Music and Sound and Awakening. So if you're not familiar with this, this is my collaboration with harpist Stephanie Halsey. We are known as Meridian Music and Sound. You can find us on YouTube, and we have an album out called Awakening. How does the composing collaboration process work with you two? Great question, David. I'll try and answer it as succinctly as I can. So for the album, it was a lot of it was just us improvising together. So we literally sat down, we'd never really played together, and we just played. We literally just free improvised for a lot of it. One of the tracks I actually kind of wrote myself. I can never remember the names. I get them muddled up. So one of them, I'll let you know which one if you're interested. One of them I kind of wrote and then took to Steph, and she elaborated her part on it. But for the most part for that album, it was a joint process of just improvising together. We recorded those improvisations, we took them away and we listened, and we kind of pulled out bits that we liked, and then we came back and worked on them. So it was very, very collaborative, and it was very easy as well. I talked earlier about working with Evson and putting tunes to his music, but me and Steph instantly kind of were able to improvise together. Possibly because we've been on a similar journey, you know, classical t-shirt. I just saw t-shirt and my brain went t-shirt. Classical musicians coming together and evolving together, really. So I don't know, but we found it very easy to kind of just improvise together and pick out the bits we liked and then work on those. Steph's actually written a composition that we've just recorded, actually. She tells me for the next album, although I've gone, oh my God, because I have to produce it all. But we did some recording at the university a couple of weeks ago. They asked us to go and speak and work with some students. So they did some recording for us, which was ace. So Steph has actually written a piece as well now. So I think that's how it's going to be now. Some of the stuff, a lot of it will be collaborative improvising. Some of it will be, oh, I've written a tune and let's play around with it. So great question, David. And it's something we want to talk more about when we revive the podcast. The podcast at some point, I hope, will come back. And it's something that we want to dive in a bit more together, because we want to be able to offer music for businesses as a kind of well-being package. And we thought about doing some talks and workshops on how we do work together, because I think it's a very interesting and unique relationship. And David has just put in the chat, it's really cool to connect like that. Yeah, it's really a difficult thing for us to explain. But if we I think if we sat down and really thought about what is going on when we sit down and play together, that could have some benefit for other people in working relationships, because the musician relationship is a very special one. And also, don't forget, when we're just practicing together, there's quite an etiquette to kind of practicing together as musicians, and I do teach that a little bit to some of my students. So that's an interesting thing that I think people in business and other things can learn from. So great question, and I could talk about it a lot more, but I hope that kind of gives you a bit of an answer. Okay, where's my next question? Rupert, I think, had a question. Here we go. Rupert says, what is your favourite birthday treat? Awesome question, Rupert. Well, today I made myself a special birthday breakfast. So somebody mentioned pancakes earlier, and I nearly told you them, but I thought I won't. I had pancakes this morning, proper American style pancakes, folks, with blueberries and raspberries and golden syrup. They were yummy. So today, that's possibly my favourite treat of the day. But I've had apple crumble, and I'm going to be having some meatballs, and just all the food today. Chocolate, you know me. So yeah, I haven't had any cake though today, actually, but all the other bits. Thank you, Rupert, for that one. Ooh, pancakes, says Wild. David says cake for tomorrow's stream ? Yeah, if you want to. I could probably pick some cake up on the way back from teaching tomorrow. If you want to bring some cake, folks, and celebrate tomorrow as well, then you are welcome to do so, because I will be streaming usual time for Flutifull Time, where you can get in your requests. And yes, Linda, it was Lyle's golden syrup. Has to be, doesn't it? Do you remember the tin it used to come in? It doesn't come in a tin anymore, does it? It comes in a squeezy thing. Anyway, there we are. I don't think I've missed any other questions, have I? Oh, Mother has a question. Here we go. What tea am I getting when I visit, Claire? Yeah. Possibly, possibly. Oh, Wild has a question. How's the chocolate box set? So one of Wild's other gifts was some chocolate. Haven't yet started that, Wild. I haven't yet started that, Wild. There we are. I will, definitely will. Thank you. Right. Thank you so much to everybody who's been here today, who's just been watching, joining in the chat, and just enjoying the music. Because, like I say, this has been really cool for me to be able to perform on my birthday and share the music with you, and share some of the stuff that means a lot to me. So thank you so much, guys. I will be back tomorrow, and you will be able to request as usual. The chat will be open to everybody, so do come along. 5 p.m. UK time. You can set a reminder on the channel page, and well, we'll kind of do it all again, and have a bit more chat from you guys as well tomorrow. So thank you again for being here. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and well, I hope you can make it tomorrow. If not, I hope I see you very soon, and I hope you enjoy the new cover that's out on the channel this week. It will be on Monday for Ko-fi members. It is the choice of my mother. So I will talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Right. Thank you, folks, for being here. I will bid you farewell, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.